You're watching an action guide summary from an episode of ecommercescale.com. At ecommercescale.com, we help you take your 6 or 7-figure e-commerce store to the next level. For more information about this episode and other resources you can use, visit ecommercescale.com. In the action guide for this episode, we want to recap what you can do to implement the lessons from this episode. Whether you're selling your business soon or not, there's a number of things that you need to do to make sure that that business is valuable to you if you do decide to sell. And if you make certain mistakes that Joe talked about, you may not be able to sell the business at all, even if you wanted to. There's also some things you can do to boost the value of your business when you do decide to sell. So implementing these things now can be a big win for your business, whether you're ready to sell soon or not. The first thing Joe mentioned is have organized finances. Make sure you're tracking revenue, expenses, margin, profit. Make sure you're tracking the dollars of your business. You can use a system like QuickBooks or Xero, which is Xero. But there's a number of different tools that you can use to track your finances. But the bottom line is you want to make sure that you are tracking that so you know the numbers of your business. And when you do decide to sell, you can communicate those numbers to somebody else. Second thing Joe mentioned is document how the business operates. Don't just run the business based on experience in your head or experience in, different team members' heads. Make sure there's a way that you run the business and that way of running the business is written down and documented somewhere. Joe talked about using Google Docs or sweetprocess.com. That's SWEET. That's definitely a good resource you can use. Main thing you want to do is just make sure that you do document your processes and how the business operates, how you do order processing, refunds, etc., all the different aspects of the business, especially ones that run with the team, and make sure that's done in a way where you can easily share it with the team and ideally collaborate with team members on actually documenting everything. The next thing that Joe mentioned is an advantage that you can do to make sure that your business is as valuable as possible. Make sure that your marketing is effective and your marketing is trackable. When you're running a marketing campaign, clearly define how you track the ROI of that campaign and make sure that the campaigns are performing well. This is something you want to make sure you have in place so that you can basically know that your marketing initiatives are working well. But it's also something that when you decide to sell in the future, these marketing campaigns become an asset to the sale. It's not an asset, I guess, technically from a technical term, but they become of huge value to the buyer to see that, wow, that marketing campaign has an awesome ROI. This other one does also. Becomes a lot better for you as the seller to say, here's how the business runs, and here's how we generate sales, and here's how we know that these campaigns are working. The last thing that Joe mentioned that we wanted to share in the action guide is using a hosted shopping cart like Shopify or BigCommerce. The benefit of using a hosted shopping cart rather than, a proprietary or, otherwise old school, self-hosted platform is that they are very, very common. Many buyers know how to use Shopify and BigCommerce and the other popular hosted platforms. And that's going to put you in a position where more people are going to be comfortable buying your business. They're not going to be scared by the platform that you use, and they're not going to feel like that platform has a steep learning curve or that it's a risky part of the sale if the server crashes or something. So if you have a choice, use a hosted shopping cart. That's something to definitely consider now in your business well before you ever plan to sell. If you want to learn more, you can listen to the full episode and see the detailed blog post and action guide at ecommercescale.com. We've also summarized all the resources that Joe shared there. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for listening to the E-Commerce Scale podcast. For more information about today's episode and additional resources you can use to take your 6 or 7-figure e-commerce store to the next level, visit ecommercescale.com. Once again, that's ecommercescale.com. Today's episode was brought to you by helpflow.net. To learn more about HelpFlow's done-for-you live chat service for e-commerce stores, visit helpflow.net. That's HELPFLOW.net.